The Teal Mask released for Scarlet and Violet, adding a new region, new characters, new mons, new music, and a new story that are all pretty dang good, if you can manage to deal with the sick nasty 5 FPS this game runs at. Almost a year's gone by and we got the first part of the 35 DLC for the Pokémons. I've already covered those games, so go check out those videos if you want opinions on base game or to get angry about bad jokes cause you didn't take stuff with a side of. But I'll bring up how I did love the base game. It was probably my most played title behind Heart Gold and Black 2. Even so, the game ran incredibly poor. This DLC somehow made it worse. I've honestly just got to get this out of the way. The game runs inexcusably poorly. And what's worse is that people are going so far as to claim that you're running an emulated copy just for pointing out a bug or even defending it at all. That Corporation Defense Force, man. I'm not a big graphics or everything kind of guy. If the gameplay is good, it's whatever to me, but the performance in this kind of bogs down the gameplay. A lot obviously claim, oh, it's the Switch, it's a weak system, and yes, the Switch is weak, but we just had Tears of the Kingdoms come out, and that game is way larger than Scarlet and Violet. Sure, it doesn't run perfectly, but it's not this bad. Game Freak just does not know how to optimize. It's as simple as that. And this DLC really shows it. The game feels like it's running at 50% speed most of the time. Simple menu actions can take like 5 or more seconds to confirm them, like per action, and you'll frequently be stuck standing still while something loads or just having a loading screen because you stepped inside a single room with 3 NPCs in it. Seriously, how is it in Zelda I can seamlessly walk through villages, go in and out of buildings without any load time, and then have this? The game still doesn't allow battle animations to be toggled off, so the already slow battles are even slower as things struggle to load. A battle against 4 Pokemon that I basically one-shot every single one of them took 6 minutes. It gets painful. Pokemon desperately needs a speed-up function like Miitopia or something, or at the very least make it so that when there's multiple stat changes or an ability happening, the menus pop up at once. Luckily this time I didn't run into anything game-breaking or crashable glitches, just horrendous FPS and the funny Gigantamax human glitch. So performance aside, I did like this DLC. The story and characters were the highlight for me. The lore of the land was intriguing, even if it is a little silly, and the main 2 you follow around are pretty entertaining. Kylo Ren having his roller coaster personality of Piss Baby and Edgelord gave me a lot of giggles, and Nemona too was Nemona, but mean, but also a bit more dynamic, cause she kinda goes through some growth in the short span of the DLC. Their expressions too are top notch. I love their little angy faces. It was kinda nice too that the big sis started out as a mean rival and then just mellowed out. Very refreshing after all that buddy chum amigo chummy chum chum pals we've gotten. I saw everyone going crazy for Perrin when she was first shown, and I did think she was cute, but I also didn't think she was that cute for as much of a reaction as she got. Doing her story though, I related. I made a joke about how she was a millennial because she mentioned getting depressed, but then she honestly hit like a lot of the things I struggled with as a content creator. Plus, all of her scenes were pretty charming, so I kind of fell for that personality. Very good character, 10 out of 10, and I wish I was that Polywhirl. The new legendary mons are alright. Their names might be the best part. I like Ogerpon 1 billion times more wearing the mask. I made a joke during stream that it'd actually be an uwu kawaii, and then... oh, god damn it! And of course it's female. It's kinda cool that we got to go to another region for the first time since Gold and Silver, but since this title didn't have Iwata to help, it's kind of a stretch to say that it's a whole new region. The new map is decently sized, but 90% of it is mountain, and a lot of the areas feel very samey. No new biome really, like a lot of people didn't realize I was playing the DLC when they stopped by to watch. There aren't any new gyms or Team Star areas, but they do have a couple Titan battles and some tough optional trainers that I assume kind of take the place of gym leaders, but there's no like gym challenge prior or anything. The music is great in this. We got some boppin' new battle themes and even a remix of Eterna Forest, which is definitely going on my chill playlist. Now, granted, I did kind of breeze through the DLC having my level 100 min-maxed Annihilate that I use for terror raids, one-shot everything, but even so, I can tell that some of the fights were kind of tough, and the semi-final fight is pretty dang cool. Like, there's a sort of tutorial fight after it, so it's not technically the final. I mean, if you played it, you know what I'm talking about. There's also 2 new minigames in this, which are pretty fun, even if one of them is just discount Pokemon Snap. This DLC is nice, but it's also very short. You can probably get through the whole story if you're just doing that in like 2 hours. It took me about 3, but I was also narrating all the dialogue and doing some stuff for stream funnies. To get one of the legendaries though, you'll need to fill a good chunk of the deck, so to 100% it, it'd probably take around 6 hours, maybe. Currently, I don't think it's worth 35. I'd place it around 10 or 15, but this isn't a DLC you buy on its own. If you get this DLC, you're also getting the second part, so it might be worth it. This DLC really is just more Scarlet and Violet, which, depending on how you felt about the base game, can be good or bad. From my experience, the only fix the game has made is that the box doesn't lag anywhere near as bad now, but that's not DLC exclusive. I'll always be a little annoyed that the only patch we really got for this game was to patch out a duplication bug to make sure that people spend more time in the game and nothing to help with performances that, you know, would make the game more playable and have people spend more time in the game. Even with this, it further patched out the duplication glitch, so if you had a cloned ride Pokemon, you can't have it hold items in a box now, which is how the duplication was performed. So that took priority instead of getting a stable FPS. If you're gonna hold off waiting for a performance patch, you'll probably be doing that forever. Cause if we didn't get one by now and the game somehow runs worse, we're not gonna be getting one. Again, I did enjoy the DLC, but considering the base game is $60, I would not recommend throwing down $35 for this cake, no matter how big it is.